Hello there, this is Reece Russell, and you're watching the weekly Steelchair.
It's my life in the box in front of me. Taking talk in my arms is the soul of me. You walk by, ask to see me laying face down.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the weekly Steelchair, where it's going to be quite an interesting one, based on what we've got to get through. A lot of discourse. And in so little time. Hello, Zach. How are you? Homemade Cookies Day and International Coffee Day. Interesting. Interesting indeed. If there's an International Murder Day, I'm sure you could tell me that. What's up, James? How are you, brother? Looks like YouTube's up to its old tricks. Ugh. Still working, just hanging out for the watch hours. I appreciate it, Matt. Thank you. We're certainly here for it. Certainly here to talk. Not here to mince words either. Simply put, last night was great. And YouTube better fucking behave. It's time to acknowledge the tribal Reece. That sounds scary. But Maria, Fernando, Zach, James, Matthew, welcome to the stream. Shattered from work as usual, but sound. I know the feeling. I got asked to work from home the end of my shift because it's the pro-Palestine protest today, and it's already been violent. Like, there was people being slashed in the face and all that shit for it. So I suppose if you've got feelings or point of view towards the situation, it's violent and aggressive. But I'm not here to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. I'm here to talk about 6 years of Dynamite and the highs and lows of it. Because there are some lows and there are some highs. Like, we're not going to be completely biased. But I did enjoy last night's show. So, what did everyone think of it? Like, in general, what did you all think of it? I saw, obviously, Fernando says he thought it was fire. But what did you all think? Only caught brief highlights, looked really good from what I saw, and we'll get to a certain someone who made an appearance last night soon. Yes, we will. Catherine says it was good, could have been better. Very honest. I appreciate the honesty, Catherine. The only thing we can do is maintain it, and that's what we're gonna do. And I'm on the same length as Catherine. I like Dynamite, but I agree it was good, but it could have been better. And there's ways to make it better. Because after all, WWE fans are like, oh, you only like to praise this, you don't do that. No, we're going to be fair. We're always fair on this channel. And if you can't hack it, go and watch another channel. This is an honest channel. If you want to be lied to, go and watch JD from New York. Because he lies to you and takes your money. Go listen to Eric Bischoff, who makes money lying to you. Go listen to Conrad Thompson. You'll probably fall asleep, but he'll lie to you. I won't. I say it as it is, whether it's right or wrong. For what I'm discussing, I say what I feel, I see what I believe in, I see what I think on, and that's how I react. I think thoroughly, I react in depth, and I analyze completely. And that's what this Dynamite for me was all about. I'm going to say it as it is. If you want to truly think about an anniversary show, is year 6 the best anniversary show? Perhaps not. Is it an important one? Yes. Because it's always the same. How long until AEW are going to die? Now, that's not meant to be somber. That's not meant to be, oh, I'm taking the piss. It's a serious point. It's always the same point. It's always, how long have they got? This is year 6. The conversations have to end. The conversations don't benefit if you continuously go for that conversation. What's up, Tina? How are you, pal? Like, this has to stop. Like, this is obsessive now. It's the same obsessive behavior that happens in other promotions as well. And why? What's the need to be so afraid of another promotion existing? Or is it because a hive mind can't escape? It's stuck on the collective balance that it's got to be only one option, never more than one. That's not how an industry works. An industry requires healthy competition, not one-sided loophole dominance. I know the feeling, Tina. Tired as well, but I'm here for the good time. We're here for a good show. That's for sure. We're gonna have a good show. Just bear in mind that you've got to be true to your belief. And this is why I can't stand people who hate other companies trying their own thing because it doesn't match up to their own possibilities. And I'm like, you really have to try something new. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of the whole XYZ must be like another company because it's the only way to do things. It's not. If you do things the same way as everyone else, no one progresses. There must be a creative thinker, an independent creative thinker. I'm going to put this out there and I want to see who you guys name in the chat, right? So this is wrestling personalities that are no longer active in the ring, but they're either bookers or they're part of creative teams or they're an agent Name 5 of them you would consider to be independent creative thinkers. You can be biased to one company if you wish, or you can go around the table and show creative thinkers exist. Name 5. Because I want to see something. Nailed it. So far, we've got an answer from Catherine, which I respect. Catherine says nobody. I'll wait for the rest of the chat. I want to see if anybody can try. It's hard to name an independent creative thinker. I will absolutely ask the question one more time. I want you to name me 5 wrestling personalities that are now bookers, agents, or creative writers that are independent creative thinkers. So they're no longer in the ring, they're now behind the scenes. They could also be on podcasts. They could also just be somebody who chose not to go into that. They're just a podcaster. But they still have creative mindset. Sup, Roy Sheen? Sup, Temple? Name me 5. So far, Catherine's very fair on her analysis. Scott Demore, creative thinker? You sure? Okay. We'll get to that, don't worry. We'll get to that. It is hard. But Catherine's technically correct. There isn't any. Do you want me to show you who the last creative thinker is? You want to see an independent creative thinker? Here's your answer. You know what's worse? This person couldn't even make it into where they were supposed to be. They couldn't get to that position. Because that's your answer. The last creative thinker couldn't even get into the boardroom, the creative room, because they were stuck in the ring and then life was taken from them. The only other person you could say? Christopher Daniels is a good shout. But this is the only other one. Find someone more creatively in tune than him. Doesn't exist. Lance Storm has a good mind for for how he projects technical wrestling. Lance Storm's a good shout. But why am I asking this question? I'll tell you. I'm asking this question. Damn right, it's true. The reason why I'm asking this question is because what is the one consistent thing people moan about when it comes to American style professional wrestling? Stevie Richards, not so much. But he's a good podcaster. He speaks well. His mind is there. Creatively, not so much anymore. But he would do a hell of a lot better than most. Steve Richards is a very good shout, though. I appreciate that mention. Raven is, for me, number one. And Bray Wyatt, number two. Do you know why Raven isn't working for the WWE? RVD's not creatively. He's not a creative thinker. He's just stoned all the time. And yes, that was meant to be funny. Kurt Angle isn't much of a creative thinker. He's uncompromised. That's the difference. One of a kind stoner. He is a one of a kind stoner. Kurt's a genius, though. The reason why I asked this question is because of that I just asked. Would Cody Rhodes be a creative thinker? No. But he tries to be. He tries to be. I'll actually give him that credit. He does try. The problem is he doesn't know how to project. Is Kurt Angle in the WWE pocket? I wouldn't necessarily say he is. But he does speak highly of the situation. I don't think he is, because you can see he's very open. He's very open about everybody. I don't think he is. Dustin Rhodes is creative, but not a creative thinker. He's creative as a pitcher, and he's very good at it. Very good at it. Stevie Ray, no. Cody was just on the Pat McAfee show. Jesus Christ. Macho Man was business fought. He was business fought. CM Punk's last creative fought was 4 years ago. One person who's not a creative thinker is Triple Giant Nose. Mark Henry and Big Slow. No. Here's another thing as well. People are not going to like... Catherine's not going to like this one. But I think Catherine will agree. Tony Khan's not a creative independent thinker. Jake Roberts is methodical. Jake Roberts is a methodical thinker. Big Show is a big flop. He hasn't got that in him. Tony Khan's not a creative thinker. Sorry, not Grado. Gado isn't a creative thinker. Levesque isn't a creative thinker. Shawn Michaels isn't a creative thinker. Carlos Silva and Tommy Dreamer are definitely not creative thinkers. Jericho is a principle. He's a principle thinker, like principle in terms of like what he does to fit the requirements. What's up, Chester? So many people have different ideas. Yeah, Tony Khan is a matchmaker, which is a positive and a negative. It's a positive because he knows what he can do. Michael Cole. It's good to be a matchmaker, but you need someone beside you. Great Muta was. He's a principal as well. He has creative spirit. He's principal. The reason why this is what people fail to realize about pro wrestling, and this is actually a very important thing. I don't think people realize Taz. No, Taz is methodical. Paul Heyman, he's more of someone who reads the room and acts accordingly. He's an adapter. He's an adaptive thinker. And it's a good thing. Vince is probably Vince was a true creative thinker, yes. Before he went senile. If you look at pro wrestling as a whole, pro wrestling really lost a lot when Bray Wyatt passed away. Shane McMahon is just useless. No worries, Roy Sheen. Look after yourself, and remember, we're still all with you. Shane McMahon doesn't have a creative thought in his body. He's just a linchpin. Mm-hmm. When Vince went crazy, everything was lost on Vince. If you want to look at it, Jim Crockett, Ted Turner, they were creative, but they backed out too soon. Like, they backed out way too soon. The Iron Sheik. Well, actually, I would say the Iron Sheik, but no. The original Sheik was a creative thinker. He was a creative thinker. Todd Gordon? In elements, yes. Not fully, but in elements. Jeff Jarrett is a very proactive thinker. He's very proactive at reading the room. Jerry Jarrett was creative. His dad was creative. Jeff is more like proactive. But this is the point. You would say he's more of I would say he's an adaptive one as well, but he doesn't adapt well. He's a poor man's adapter. He's basically a Game Boy charger it doesn't work. Now, the reason why I'm asking this is because people love to say we're in a wrestling boom period. People love to say we're in a boom period. Michael Hayes is a decent shout. He used to be creative. Now he's just delusional. Bobby Heenan was special. Bobby Heenan was in my opinion, the original reader of the room. Then you've got Heyman. If you look at across the board, pro wrestling lacks the creative thinkers. Therefore, there's no boom period. Jimmy Hart, no. Jimmy Hart, if anything, he was just really good at just spinning webs. Vince Russo's just a bell end. Nothing original about him. Nothing creative about Vince Russo. People want to speak to me, it's always funny. I'm back. Cornette is an interesting one. He actually was creative until about 2009, and then he lost his way. Phil Moody, Will Moody, I should say. Phil was a different name for him, but you'll never believe it. But William Moody, or Paul Bearer, as people know him legitimately, he was creative, never lost it. He's one of the rare few. But pro wrestling has no creative thinkers anymore. Like, none. And that's why there's no such thing as a boom period anymore. Now, companies can enjoy themselves. They can make money, they can do good wrestling, they can do good feuds, good stories. But is it really over a long period of time? No. And don't believe the whole concept of the Bloodline story. The Bloodline story isn't creative. Like, as much as WWE would love to say it made them money, yes, but it was because of people in their cave minds thinking it was good shit. None of it was good. Like, there's lies, and then there's blatant lies. The difference is, I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to say it. None of it was good. And you can't convince me. It was overrated. There was better stories in the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s than the Bloodline story. And that's an example of lack of creative thinking. So translate that to AEW. And let's actually translate it to AEW. Because I'm not going to hide it. There's some parts of this show, Catherine's right, this show is good, but it could be better. There's some parts of this show that lack creative thinking. And I'm going to give you a prime example. Temple said in the chat, the Don Callis family is getting to the NWO levels. He's correct. Now, it's a brilliant opening match. Don't get me wrong. That opening match is fantastic. When was the last time you had something enjoyable like that, you know? Like, it was seriously really good. You look at who was involved. You've got the tag champs, Brodido. Yep, Tempo spot on. You look at who's in this match. You've got the tag team champions, Brodido. You've got the AEW Triple Crown winner in Kenny Omega. And you've got the Bucks teaming up with Josh Alexander. And considering the fact the Hard Rock looks brilliant, this is one of the best TNA, TNA, sorry, because I remember the Hard Rock casino show they had. This is one of the best AEW crowds in quite a while. Like, it is actually a good fucking crowd for a change. A crowd that actually wanted to be engaging. But the lack of creative thinking is you have post-match towards the end. Luckily not during this one. The lack of creative thinking is you've got the Bucks attacking everybody, which draws out Jurassic Express. And then instead of having a return that's solid in an independent fashion, you bring back Andrade El Idolo, which is a great moment. The first man to go back and forth and back again. He's done that. But he immediately joins the Don Callis family. Now, I like Andrade. He was really losing his shit the last time he was in AEW. He was losing any form of position and pace. He was falling off. It goes back to WWE. And he did nothing, and he ended up in catering. He got released 3 weeks ago. He is a total grifter. He's a good wrestler. But what is he meant to be? Now, he returned. It fits But there's also a major problem. You've now stuck him in a faction that's now overloaded. And I'm going to be brutally honest here. The Don Callis family is so overloaded that it adds to a point I'm going to say about someone I'm a big fan of. I'm actually starting to get worried. Josh Alexander is becoming my personal concern. Yes, he did. He did fumble him. I don't like the fact it's an overloaded faction. I like it if they have associates. But in terms of fully fledged members, Don Callis only needs 5. He's went way too far. He needs to cut people out of the faction. And I'm going to say right now who they are. Lance Archer, Rocky Romero, Konosuke Takeshita, Kazuchika Okada, and Josh Alexander. Archer, because I like what he's doing when he just walks the ring and just destroys people. He doesn't need to be in a faction for that. Okada doesn't need to be in a faction with anybody. He doesn't need anyone. Takeshita, it's time to go solo. Rocky Romero is useless. And you know my point of view about the 5th name. I think Josh Alexander, even though he makes sense with Don Callis, I think what he can do on his own is more than enough. I think personally, all Callis needs is Kyle Fletcher, Hechicero, Andrade, even though I think Andrade would be better on his own anyway. I think he needs to find a new 4th member. And I like the fact he brought in the clone. The Don Callis family is so overloaded that I'm not sure where they go. No, not more members, just 5. Just Don Callis plus 5 5 of his own choice, handpicked chosen members. That's it. No, I think if you put him in that faction, he could be a serious threat. The clone is a replicative story that they're doing. It's actually fine. It's basically a repeat of the mystical storyline, which is fine. It's just how they're going to pull it off. That's the difference. I don't necessarily think they need to do anything. Andrade should be going to CMLL and winning the world title. Perhaps. WWE did do this, yes. There's a lot of these masked clone ideas. You had the Black Scorpion in the 90s. That's another one that people don't often remember. There was actually a clone, well, like a mugged clone version of Great Muta once. Like, they all tie in. Now, I think on paper it looks cool, but I'm not asking for it. I think if it leads to a metamorphosis of the clone and he becomes something else, I'm happy with it. He wasn't on good terms with Triple H because he was having to stand there in that podcast, that press conference. Yes. Hologram has also become a problem. A character like Hologram, and considering his size and etc., having such an undefeated streak for someone like that, it's really strange. Like, it's strange, but the guy's good. Rez is going to soon unmask. He'll unmask. When he does, then you've got a gem. But the lack of creative thinking is just putting that, even though on paper it looks cool, Andrade doesn't need to be with the Don Callis family whilst it's overloaded. If this leads to an exodus, then I'll be very impressed. And I'm serious, I will be impressed. Because if they continue to add more members, then it becomes impossible to book a civil war. Yes, I know. They weren't good either as a team. I remember watching them in Triple A. They weren't a good trios team. Like, I actually thought they were boring. They didn't. They lacked cutting edge. That is really aggravating my back. A civil war only works if Don Callis actually doesn't at first pick a side. The whole what side is he on is going to be the biggest thing. That's the only way that type of civil war works within that family. But it has to lead to an exodus. Like, it must lead to an exodus of talent just leaving him. If they leave him, then that will be interesting. I don't know if they will do that or not. See, that's creative thinking. So well done, Maria. That's cool. Yeah, I'm expecting it to be that, but Okada shouldn't even be with his family in the first place. Okada's got what he needed from Don Callis. He doesn't need Don Callis. Mind you, Don Callis absolutely needs him. But overall, I thought the match was excellent. The one-winged angel does secure the victory, but I think we all just think maybe questions to be asked. Also, why is Josh Alexander the only one taking pins? Why is he the only one taking pins? That's got me concerned. And I'm not saying that because I'm like, oh yeah, just go to NXT, mate, because you'll be ruined anyway. I'm saying it because this guy carried an organization on his own. Why is he taking so many losses? JD from New York doesn't like anything except his mother's milk. Because he's still a tit sucker. And not the right kind. He's a spanner. And he probably didn't like last night's AEW because, well, it's probably too mature for him. Because he's such a child. Probably because Mercedes was on that show as well as a talker, you know, because he can't stand that she got him removed from a show that he should never have been on in the first place. Oh, I'm seeing too much for that man. That man boils my blood. He's a horrible person. And he's fake. Like, he's proper fake. Like, his reactions are... You can see it from a mile away. Why didn't I like JD? I think he's the most phony podcaster out there. I think he's phony. And I think he doesn't stay true to what he thinks. I think he's just one of those who just gravitates to trends. I think he tries too hard to be on one side of the fence. And he tries so hard to hide his thoughts on the other. And also, the way he treats women is disgusting. Like, the way he talks about women in the industry is absolutely deplorable. Should AEW stack Dynamite for Title Tuesday? If they want to. Like, absolutely, if they wish to. They're going up against Showdown, but... I don't think it matters if they stack it or not. For them... For them, it's about continuation of their own product. If they just stack a show, people will just think, oh, they're just trying to win the ratings night. They need to just keep their own thing. He was praising AEW, not he's more of a WWE sticker. If you look at what he's doing for, well, what he was doing to AEW in terms of like praising the fuck out of them, and now he's doing it for WWE. He does that just to keep his subscribers. He does that to keep the attention. He does that just to make sure that he gets his money. And he said it before, he does podcasting just to make money. I don't. I do it because I have fun. If I ended up with 0 subscribers tomorrow, I'm not going to all of a sudden just quit and go and huff like he does. Like, that could happen. I could generally have I could honestly lose all 410 subscribers tonight. And I'd be like, okay. The difference is, see if that happened to JD, he would go on an absolute riot. Crying, bitching, and moaning. And I know he would. I won't. The product stands on its own. That's what it should be doing. You stand on your own, you do your own thing, and you keep going. It doesn't need... If you want to stack it, then stack it. By all means, that's their choice. But it could have consequences. And we've seen that this year. We saw it last year as well. They tried to stack. They have stories, but I think they do need a few other ones that are different, yes. Some of them they need to change. I agree with that. adaptive. They don't just need proactive storylines as well. They need some adaptive storylines. They don't need to go into long-term storytelling unless they have something that they want to build up over a long period of time. But they need to find stories that actually make sense to the audience. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Unfortunately. Even though I think perhaps they could, I don't think they will. We go to backstage and Don Callis, of course, with Okada and Takeshita because that man can run. Callis challenges Brodito to a match next week. And of course, Takeshita's not happy about that. Let's see. I agree that the Death Rider story needs to end, but when is the perfect time to do it? Full circle. I think there's a full circle way to end the Death Rider storyline. End it at Full Gear. Everyone's got a role to play. Darby should beat Mox. I think, in my opinion, and I've said this before, they got the match order wrong. I think they should have done the coffin match first. Sorry, the I Quit match first, then the coffin match. Not coffin, then I Quit. For me, the matches on paper are fun. The execution is aggressive. But I think they should have done I Quit, then the coffin match. Not coffin, then I Quit. I don't think Yuta's a Mox guy anymore. I think the reason he recruited that pleb Daniel Garcia is because he can't trust Yuta. And to be fair, Yuta's terrible, so it makes sense. Although recruiting Daniel Garcia to any faction is just tragic. Like his wrestling career. Oh yeah, 100%. He absolutely is. And it's high time as well. Beats the hell out of me. I don't get it either. He looks like a gothic Justin Bieber with limited skills. Like, he honestly is that. He is a gothic Justin Bieber with limited skills. And he's boring. He is so boring. And he's already hit his ceiling. He hit his ceiling a long time ago. He can't get any better. just like someone else. Just like someone else who can't get any better. Orange freaking Cassidy. This guy was gone for over a year. He was gone for over a year. Nowhere to be found. Bleached up. And then he comes back not where he should have been. Not where he should have been for starters, but he was involved. He wins one tag match because he's on the team with Hologram, and Hologram doesn't lose. And then he's like, oh, here you go. Here's a TNT title shot. No. No. No, Tony. Absolutely not. Like, we're going to have to send Catherine to Jacksonville to deal with Tony Khan. Because that's wrong. This is the shit that people call Tony out for, that he can't be defended for. Like, there's certain things he does or will do that can't be defended. Putting Orange Cassidy in a title match, even if he loses, is one of those things, and he shouldn't be doing it. If you're not going to have Hologram available to do the title match, then just let Kyle Fletcher do an open challenge for the TNT title that's not Orange Cassidy. We may never see Catherine again if she meets Tony Khan. Catherine would probably... Actually, I don't want to think what she would do, because that would be painful. Because we know Catherine would do anything within her power. Oh dear God. I mean, this is Tony Khan's life. Not the way you'd have liked to have met him, Catherine. Don't start. We know if you had the chance, this is what you would be playing. And then, just as you've went plumbing, this would be your follow-up. Off topic, should Obafemi answer the open challenge for the US Championship on SmackDown and win the title? I see it, but no, he shouldn't. I feel like if you just put him in that position, what's he going to achieve? What's that, Fletch? I feel like if you're going to have him answer anything or go for any title, it's on Raw. I don't think the US title is the answer for him, but I think he might still answer it anyway. But I don't think he wins. Oh, and after Catherine's had pizza time, this is her final soundtrack. And it's very appropriate. Tony Khan's life is in jeopardy when Catherine's around. The Steel Circus. I mean, at least you get your laughs and your entertainment. That's what we're here for. Now, this match did go on far too long as well. Oh, that's another person I forgot about in the Domcast family needs to be booted out. Trent Barretta. And I think Brian Cage might get removed from the faction as well. Although he would be a better shout than keeping Wardlow. Cheesecake. I wish. To be fair, I'm trying to be careful with the sounds I play because some poor bastard tried a copyright on the 10 bell salute last night. So unfortunately, I had to trim out that section of the show last night. So I apologize in advance. Someone got actually butthurt about it. It's not a copyright strike, but they still went for it. So I had to remove it. So I can't even play that anymore. Which I think is ridiculous. I can play any other sound, but that one's a problem. Like, I'm more bloody afraid of the video clips I've got of like Spider-Man doing web slinging than I am about that sound. Dipping in and out is more than okay, Roy Sheen. As long as you're alright. Yeah, 2 minutes, not exactly. Like, I can play this and not worry. Like, I can literally play this.
I want Spider-Man!
Misery, misery, misery. That's what you've chosen.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in
Reece Russell.
I believe in
Reece Russell.
cause they love him in Scotland and 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 Scotland. They say I believe in
Reece Russell.
I believe in
Reece Russell.
He seems to have come out of nowhere to answer the prayers of the city, just when all hope seemed to be lost.
I believe in
Reece Russell.
But apparently that's fine. But people get offended over the 10 bell salute. Make that make sense. Because I fucking can't. Especially when I'm paying respect to someone. What a fucking bumlick. Speaking of bumlick, Baldy Bumlick does not make his debut at Banker Break this weekend for the SWA, but you can watch our 14-match pay-per-view this weekend. Just don't burn yourself out. That's just the modern day we live in. Oh, it is. It is, dude. It's absolutely stupid. Like, I can understand, right, if I played like a 5-minute clip from a wrestling match, right? Like a 5 minutes of a match that people remember, right? like the first 5 minutes of Hogan versus Rock, or the last 5 minutes of Okada versus Omega 2 to 3 falls when both men were given absolutely everything to get that final fall, or the last 5 minutes of the last 5 minutes, which included the final minute of the Iron Man match between Brett and Shawn. Then you had the sudden death. All that 5 minutes, and I would get hit with copper, and I'd be like, you know what, that's fine. That would make sense. But moaning over a 10-bell salute, and it was the sound. It was the sound. And I had to trim it out. That little bit of tribute that I did for Roy Sheen's mum, and I had to take it out. Like, that actually stings. I'm not making it all about me, but I think it's ridiculous that we did something nice and this is what happens. So, Roy Sheen, I apologize if you go back and watch that and you don't hear the 10-bell salute. I'm telling you now, I apologize, and it's not my fault. But something I did I thought was nice has been removed from yesterday's stream, and I apologize. And I can't even fight it as well, because if I did, I would get absolutely ripped apart. That's the worst thing. I can't fight. So I had to rule out because I know for a fact they lie when they say this is not a strike against your channel. It's bullshit, because New Japan did that, and then New Japan decided to change their mind, and they killed my original channel. So if anyone sees, oh, this is not a strike against your channel, take it with a pinch of salt. Trim the segments out as quickly as you can. But that's Rage in the Cage, Penis in Uranus, something that Triple H likes from Nick Khan. But what he doesn't like is talented wrestlers, because he turns them into clowns. And speaking of clowns, Orange Cassidy is already a clown, but a clown with a title shot. And thankfully he lost, but this went on far too long. Now, Catherine said, not Catherine, sorry, Maria asked, should the best friends get back together? No. Because that still means Orange Cassidy on TV. Unfortunately. I think it's high time that if you're gonna, here's another thing as well, if you're gonna keep the Don Callis family at such a high roster of in-ring talent, you need to balance it out by Don Callis has to actually hire managers to actually work with these talents, because if he's doing it all on his own, it doesn't make it feel right. Like, he needs to stick to his main guns and then delegate the rest out. If he wants to keep a big faction, that's what he's got to do. He needs people to delegate roles to. Otherwise, it'll burn him out. He's already bald, so he can't get any worse. But he could age 10, 15 years if he can't get any change on it. I wanted to bring this up as well. This was something I wanted to bring up as a praise. I thought the Dynamite 6-year anniversary celebration package video was actually really well done. I like seeing the two clips of CM Punk. I'm going to bring up, I like the fact that they brought up CM Punk, because, again, big contribution to AEW. Both positive and negative, but the positives were there. So it was nice to see him included in the promo package, when he teamed up with Sting, and also when he faced off with Hangman. The ending of Omega standing there with his signature entrance pose was excellent. The use of the match gimmick concepts, that the standoff where Moxley was behind Omega on episode 1 was brilliantly inclusive. It's one of my favorite moments still. The matches involving the Lucha Brothers and the Bucks again is good to include them on the package. Here's the thing: for all the shit that truly believe AEW does, the fact that the fact that he was, because this is Tony Khan as well, the fact that Tony Khan was willing to include these guys in promo packages shows that he doesn't, that he actually really doesn't care what other people think of him. Like, you can see that people like to think, oh, he just loves to spite WWE. They love to talk shit about them. He doesn't. If you actually look at it, he doesn't. Ever since the whole Pepsi situation, he hasn't said any negative word to them. Yep, 26th birthday for Sky Blue, and who should Tony Khan make his own Bruce Pritchard? Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson should be Tony Khan's right-hand man, in my opinion. I think he's the most reliable one they can get. Because Danielson is the best of both. No Cody in that package. Cody was in that video package. I'm pretty sure he was there with standing face to face with Sammy Guevara. I'm pretty sure he was in that video package. Unless I just saw the good bits and then didn't see Cody, but I thought he was. Let me have a look. I'm going to rewatch it again just quickly. Yeah, because I had Brody Lee, I had Kenny Omega's dope video, which was quality. Like, 2 minutes 15. Let me just have a quick watch again. 2 seconds. Just curious to always rewatch something. Yeah, he's not in it. Who cares? It's only Cody. Reese, I've got a question. Will SmackDown ever be on your channel? I'm not saying it because I want it. I'm just wondering. SmackDown was on the channel. I just, for the time being, took it off. And I think it was the right decision. I feel like I did the right thing taking it off. Now, where were we? Yes. Back to business. Mark Briscoe. Excellent backstage promo from him. Again, mocking MJF. And he did it without needing to go so personal with him. He just mocked the fact that he went home after getting beat man on man. It was brilliant. Again, I think Mark definitely deserves something. What you do with it, I don't know, but he definitely deserves something now. Because he's putting in a lot. If he doesn't get a reward for this, then I'll be shocked. I'll be very shocked. I don't know if you guys agree with me on that, but it's just something I was thinking about. Moving on to Trios Tag Team action. It's the Ops members Will Hobbs, Powerhouse Hobbs, Samoa Joe, teaming up with Catherine's favorite wrestler of all time, Hangman Adam Page, the AEW World Champion, taking on Claudio Castagnoli, Jon Moxley, and Daniel Garcia. This was well done. Overall, I liked what I saw, apart from Daniel Garcia. I thought from the very beginning of the opening bell, it was nice to see tension within one portion of the team. And that was Hangman and Joe. Their tension had to rise, and it was the right call. Because let's be real, Hangman weaseling himself into this position, and he's weaseled his way in, because what he's thinking is, I can get involved here, help the Ops take on the Death Riders, because I know they won't touch me. Well, after hitting a buckshot lariat for the win, he certainly made a mistake. He underestimated Samoa Joe. As soon as he handed the belt to him, that was it. And I was like, okay. A little bit of ching ching. Works for me. It's not because he dropped the title when Hangman gave it to him. What they've done is they've taken it as a sign of disrespect. Like an intentional sign where, why does he need to go and do it? Now, you may say it's just common courtesy for a teammate to hand over a title belt to that's part of their teammates, you know? it seems logical for one person to give the belt to the other. Samoa Joe doesn't see it that way. He sees Hangman Page as someone who's trying to overstep his mark, if you will. He's trying to assert his authority on Samoa Joe. Now, one thing Samoa Joe hates is someone to do that to him. He's never like that. In wrestling context, he's never like someone overstepped their unless it's someone he genuinely respects. Now, he admires Hangman, but you can tell he doesn't respect him, and that was lost in the ring. Should Joe turn it? I think he should. Joe is a great babyface, but I think it's time. And I actually think, personally, the Ops should turn heel fully. I don't think they all need to be a bit. Shibata, obviously, all things considering. One second. Nice. Samoa Joe's dope. But let's be real. Samoa Joe, for all the good shit he does as a babyface, he's so much better as a heel. He's so much better. And that's what makes him unique. He can do both, but you know that he's a better heel. And I think this title match is his reward before he leaves. But I'll tell you one thing's for sure. Hangman Page is good on the mic. And he had MJF who's good on the mic. Now he's got Joe. Ooh. Joe's gonna eat him alive on the mic. Because if there's one thing that's just as good as a Samoa Joe match, it's a Samoa Joe promo. And I'm really looking forward to it. I also like the little snippets of reminders that Adam Page has never beaten Samoa Joe in the ring. Now, if you're going to constantly nitpick at someone that you can't beat them, what's the logical result going to be at Wrestle Dream? What's the result going to be? What's gonna be the logical result? Well, may as well tell you. Interesting comment, Robert. You think it's a mistake to bring back Andrade? Okay, that's fair. Why do you think it was a mistake? I mean, I like the honesty there in terms of circumstance. I think it's an interesting callback to someone, but it could end up being a mistake. But why do you think it was a mistake? I think he won't last long there anyway. I think within a year and a half he'll be away again. Just saying. I think he'll be 18 months gone. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's right on both accounts, gents. I think you're both right. She returns to Hollywood. She returns to her acting roots of sorts. Timeless Tony Storm in action for the first time since losing her world championship. She's actually got quite a good match, actually. If you look at it in depth, like, not many people like this woman, but I do like Ty Mello. And I actually think this was very good. I think if he does leave again, I think he goes back to Mexico. I like Ty Mello, and I actually quite like this match. I actually think the pacing was very good. I think overall, I think Ty Mello actually showed why she is going to be a strong contender to be one of the first tag team champions. Her way of wrestling is very useful for Tony Storm because it allows Tony Storm to just get her groove back. So I really like the way this match was handled. I hope this is not a one-off. Like, I honestly hope it's not a one-off. I would actually like to see them go again. I don't need it to be a best of 7 series between Ty Mello and Tony Storm, but I want to see it happen again. I thought the counter wrestling by Tony Storm, especially on Ty Mello's tied KO, was excellent. I thought the pace that Ty Mello was able to execute her own technical holds was really well done. I really enjoyed it. I think we're going to get some excitement out of her for a while, depending on what happens. Same with Tony Storm, like her whole finding herself, finding her identity without the world championship is going to be seriously intriguing. That's a different story on its own. No worries, Roy Sheen. I hope you have a good sleep. And I thank you. Tomorrow, 7:30. 7:30 tomorrow. This match as well doesn't insult the talent. Like, Ty Mello, let's be real, Ty Mello's a good wrestler, but she's not Tony Storm in a way that Tony Storm is an established main eventer. So Tony Storm's credibility as a main eventer is not going to be hurt here by, say, if she had lost to Ty Mello. But Ty Mello, who is still trying to find what part of the division she's meant to be in, she's got a good performance. It lets her move up a gear, potentially move herself into a position where she could be trusted to be one of the main tag champions when the belts eventually come out. I think she should be, with Anna Jay, one of the first champions. But additionally, and truthfully, I think she still has more to do. Like, I think she has tangible qualities, but I think she still has a bit more to do. The good thing is, I'm not going to say she's a one of one, because that's the best of the best. But she's not cliche. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think she's not a cliche repetitive choice. Like, you can see what she ties into. She is in her own niche for style and look, but she still has to do more. And I think if she can figure that out, she'll be fine. Anna Jay, in certain ways, is better than... Anna Jay is a far better striker than Ty Mello, 100%. Actually, no, Ty Mello's a better striker. Anna Jay is probably a far better mat-based wrestler and probably a ground striker. But in terms of like full-on striking, Ty Mello smokes her. But that's a good thing. Both of them went to Japan. Both of them got even better. Both of them are now in their best run for a long time. This is the best you're going to get of Anna Jay. This is potentially the best you're going to get of Ty Mello. But going to Japan, after coming back from obviously her pregnancy, changing things up, has certainly allowed her to expand, which is a good thing. If she didn't do that, then absolutely she should have been not bothered as a return at all. But she's actually made the effort. Same with Anna Jay. Like, Anna Jay did brilliantly in the 5-star, and look at her now. I predict that Monet's next opponent is Izzy Moreno. She lives in Florida, and Monet made her cry years ago. Maybe. It's not a bad idea. I do wonder who it's going to be. If it ends up being that, cool. I don't know. Tony Storm's promo, delivery-wise, perfect. However, I hate the fucking what chants. Like, for goodness sake. I generally thought when it comes to crowds, I generally thought AEW fans would know better. But you do the what chant during Tony Storm's promo? Nah. Ridiculous. Genuinely ridiculous. Like, that really annoyed me last night. Especially because it was a very good promo. And the minute they started doing the what chants, she was like, you could tell she was checked out. She's like, nah, I'm away. We get a video package for Eddie Kingston versus Drew Listicle for Collision. Ugh, why? And then we get the Gates of Agony versus Blake Christian and Lee Johnson, the Swirl. Yeah, I would love to know why as well, James. Because I thought it was absolutely insulting. 2/3 of the demand being Bishop Cannon and Toa Leona, the Gates of Agony versus the Swirls, Blake Christian and Lee Johnson. Again, I hate those two. They are bland, boring, and they suck. It's an easy win for GOA. They win with the elevated double. Then the Hurt Syndicate come out and challenge them to a street fight, and Ricochet accepts, so we'll get that next week on Dynamite. But fuck me, this match was horrible. Ricochet on commentary was really good, and the Spirit Gun post match was fun as well. But ugh. It's just ridiculous. And then your main event of the Dynamite episode, mixed tag team action. Darby Allin and Marina Shafir versus Justin Bieber, Utah, and Darby Allin and Chris Statlander versus Marina Shafir and Justin Bieber, Utah. This is actually a decent match, to be fair. In between, obviously, we do get the Mercedes Moné announcement. She's going to defend her title, obviously, which I'm eager to see what they do. And the Harley Cameron thing was funny. Statlander did accept Tony Storm's challenge, but this match itself, for a mixed tornado tag, lived up to the tornado rules anyway. It was a whirlwind of fighting each other in the crowd, at ringside, in the ring, on the ramp. Weapons, no weapons. Bare feet going through thumbtacks because you can. Like, on an all-round basis, Marina Shafir looked good, but if you're gonna be in a mixed tag and it's gonna lead to bringing in certain weapons, wear boots, or similar to your best pal Ronda Rousey, just wear the very small wrestling boots that she used to wear. Because if you're going to go into an extreme hardcore match stipulation like that, potentially, and you put your bare feet through tacks, it doesn't look right. And it's the same way, like, you won't see Speedball Mike Bailey do that. But, like, Marina, I get it, you're crazy. But wear some form of boots, because that was not cool to see. Now, Wheeler Yuta also slammed Statlander as well, and then Statlander got revenge by suplexing him on a pile of chairs. I thought that was really well done. Yuta takes the pin with a 450 splash, then the coffin drop. That was really well done. It was all a mistake as well that led to these moves, because Marina Shafir hits Wheeler Yuta with a powder after she gets accidentally stunned. She chokes him out. She chokes out Wheeler Yuta, and then obviously you get the 450 and then the coffin drop for the win. Timeless Tony Storm shows up, gets in the face of her Wrestle Dream opponent and Women's World Champ Chris Statlander. They start to brawl on the ramp. Pac Barrett, as I'm calling him from now on, he shows up. He does a beautiful discus lariat on Darby Allin as well. Like that lariat was powerful. They did. She just needs to put on boots. John Moxley does appear with Claudio as well, telling Darby he is going to make him quit at Wrestle Dream, and he promises that he's going to make him say it, which was cool. But it was brutal nonetheless. Not to mention the fact that Wheeler Yuta also got whipped like a government mule by Darby Allin with his belt. A leather belt as well. But still, it was good. Yes, she can. She can be. The GOA should win the tag titles. Not for a while yet, but yes. The title run we have at the minute by Brodero is actually good enough to not end at the minute. But yes, GOA at some point, they should win it, yes. Overall, as agreed with Catherine, the show was good. There's some good moments, but there's also some moments I'm like, you could seriously try things a little bit differently. For example, Orange Cassidy in a title match? No. Title Tuesday and you don't have Okada defending his title belt? That should be a title match itself, but still, Takeshita and Okada teaming together will still be fun. Whoever Mercedes Moné's opponent's going to be is the final time she potentially defends it successfully, because she's nearly broke Jade's record, and when that record's broken, that's it. That belt is coming off her. I think the match structure and the match order was slightly right, slightly wrong, but it was still exciting. I think they missed a few things, but it was still good. It was good to see some of the TNA, it's not TNA, AEW originals. One of them was obviously in TNA a long time ago. But I think there's a lot here that tells the direction, but the direction only continues if they keep momentum. Highly up there, build it, and then we go. And the next week, obviously, Dynamite is on Tuesday, Title Tuesday, and then Homecoming Collision is on Wednesday. Therefore, next week, we are not reviewing Dynamite on Wednesday. We will review Dynamite with Collision on the Thursday, which means Monday and Tuesday, we're going to do other things, because I think it'll be good to do both shows together as one big review. We'll see if we can get maybe Catherine or Matt on for those, or both, and anyone else that would like to appear. So we'll do other shows in the background, other things we haven't done in a little while, plus that. There hasn't been any title matches. It's just Mercedes Moné's TBS Open title shot. That's it. And the crazy thing is, I'm not sure. She wants it to be someone from Florida. I think, well, the fact that Robert thinks it could be Izzy Moreno, I don't know. If you look at women from Florida, there's potential opportunities. I mean, we know for a fact. Maybe not. She is at the Ring of Honor taping this week. What if the person that answers the challenge, what if it's Sari? Yeah, hockey's starting, yeah. I wonder. What if Sari is the one that answers it? Ouch. She's got a busy schedule at the minute, though, Sari, because she's got the IWGP Women's title. She's got the Sukaban World Championship, and she's one half of the AAW Tag Team Champions with Takumi Iroha. Who was the chicken that wrestled in Ring of Honor was in WWE? That was Kaden Carter, but she obviously goes by Lacey Lane now. Lacey Lane. But Sari says she's in America because there's someone that she wants to face before defending her belt against Yuri in Stardom. What if Sari takes the TBS title? I'm gonna go. I would like it to be Sari. Well, sorry, I would like it to be her. No, it's not too soon at all. She's already one of the top 5 women's wrestlers in the world, so you give her a match after the Ring of Honor, you put her in a match on Tuesday with Mercedes Moné, that's completely okay. It's not a dangerous idea. And it's never too soon for the IWGP Women's Champion. She's right there for the opportunity. She's right there for the taking. Lacey Lane's not from Florida, I don't think. If she is, then cool. Let's see. It definitely won't be either of those two. It definitely won't be that cow. No, not her. Definitely not her. Thankfully, won't be her. It won't be her, but that would be a shock. She's not going to do anything against Athena, though. That's the problem. I actually wouldn't mind if it was this woman. If it was this woman, I would actually be... I would like that, but I think she's retired now. It won't be her, sadly, because she's signed to WWE, so it won't be her. Won't be her. I would actually like it to be Katrina. Nah. End of the day, if she wants someone specifically from Florida, you give her someone from Florida. I would give her Katrina. It's a shame that Red Velvet's injured, because Red Velvet would have been fine as well. She's actually from Florida. Windsor needs a break anyway, because she needs to let things die down. Queen Aminata is good, but I don't think she's taking that title. Yeah. Is she still active or is she retired? I actually think this would be a good opponent. See, I was thinking Katrina. Katrina used to be in Lucha Underground, and sadly, she was on the women's NXT years ago. She was the woman that was called Maxine, but she can legitimately wrestle. I was thinking her because she's from Florida, but the other one I was thinking of is Big Swole because she's not been in AEW for 4 years. But I actually think she wouldn't be a bad shout. Especially because she can actually wrestle. No worries, dude. I'm just about to wrap up myself anyway. It won't be Dasha Fuentes. Although Dasha wouldn't be a bad shout either. If she just wants it to be someone from Florida, there are some picks they can have. If they just run with it. But I don't know. I certainly think they've got a lot to do. Actually, I don't know if she's still in TNA right now. Kylan King actually wouldn't be a bad shout. She was in TNA for a bit as well. You know what? Fuck it. Bring in Kylan King. Let Kylan King have the match. She's also from Florida. That's what I would do. Go with her. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is your review of the evening. I'll give it a 8 out of 10. Some things could be better. I know, sadly, she won't, but again, this woman with guts. Whatever happens, we'll certainly find out. Obviously, you know what's happening tomorrow. You guys know the score. Tomorrow, it's Ring of Honor and TNA double review. Saturday, pay-per-view show. Our pay-per-view. And we'll see what else we do. This weekend, we can have some fun. Next week, of course, Just Free Guys is the weekend event, as well as Crown Jewel. There's so much on. The one thing is for sure, you guys are awesome. I thank you for your time. And I bid you good night. And today, our time comes to an end. This has been another exciting stream. Thank you very much for watching. And also, remember, if you get cracked over the head with a steel chair, you're not going to get concussion. You're just going to come back here. Goodbye.